Akademiks can't ride no wave.
So Keefe D. Oh my God, I got this again. I actually want to play this whole thing when I'm here. So Keefe D, Wack100 tried to bail out Keefe D for $750,000, and in him trying to bail out Keefe D, it went to a whole long saga, and I'll play the abridged version. I'll come back with a longer version. Here we go.
Accused of participating in the murder of a hip-hop legend fights to be released from jail ahead of his high-profile murder trial after he says he secured the thousands of dollars to make his bail.
And so any conversation that you had with your wife at that time was in an effort just to get her to comply with the bond process.
That's right. I wanted to come home because I got cancer. I just called it that. And here eating y'all processed food. I had colon cancer right here. And it's down in the movie this side. All this processed food. They don't sell no fruit. It's just terrible. Fake potatoes, fake milk, fake everything. It ain't good for an ex-cancer patient. Now I got it again. They took me to the hospital, UMC, on the 5th of May. He came to my cell and said, Mr. Davis, hurry up and get dressed. You need emergency surgery. So I went over there. They did all the CAT scans and stuff. And they referred me to my cancer doctor. So I went to see him on the 8th of May. And he said, did you do a colonoscopy in a week, CAT scan in 2 weeks, a PET scan in 3 weeks? They haven't came here to do nothing. I'm in a life situation, and I would say anything to save my life.
After spending nearly 9 months behind bars, former Southside Compton Crips gang member Dwayne Davis, better known as Keefe D, informed the courts he can now pay the $750,000 it'll take to get him out of jail as he awaits trial for murder.
Okay.
Davis has been in a...
Okay, so let me explain, and then we'll get into this shit. So, Keefe D was trying to get bail. His bail was $1 million, I believe, at first, and it got reduced to $750K. And it was alerted to the court that there was someone that was down to pay the $750K, and that the bail was going to be processed. There was a hearing about it, and the prosecutor contested it because they wanted to talk to the person or the people or the entity or even the family member that was putting up the $750K. It was going to be through a bail bondsman. Allegedly, it was going to be $75,000, which is 10%. Then it was supposedly told that it was going to be a little bit more than that, fronted to the bail bondsman, who was going to put up the entire amount to the court. It was going to be $112,000 allegedly. Now, the person who was going to do that and front that money for the bail bondsman to make bail for Keefe D was Wack100. Now, this became the subject of a different scrutiny because the prosecutors actually, you could tell how much they have been waiting for any conviction that had to do with Tupac, because they don't even want this guy to get bail, period. So yes, the money was available to bail him out, but then because Wack is putting it up, they wanted to have a hearing with Wack to question Wack to make sure Wack is on the up and up. Now, Wack100, we all know, he's been on my stream. He's been everywhere. They wanted to have a hearing where he had to come in and testify. He didn't come in person, but he virtually appeared and had to testify about why he was bailing Keefe D out, where the funds came from, what his what level of responsibility he will take, and, a couple other things. Let's kind of get into that a little bit more. So this what happened.
It doesn't guarantee Davis will be released from jail. With Davis months away from his murder trial in a recent bail hearing, the topic of where the bail money came from sparked some courtroom drama, as the defense called a single witness to testify before the judge, a man named Cash Jones, aka music producer Wack100, who helped provide the money needed to bail out Keefe D.
Mr. Jones, what was the amount that you paid for the bail bond premium in this case?
112,000. It was 15% of whatever the 750 was.
Okay,
Okay, so I guess the bail bondsman asked for 15%.
12,000 and some odd dollars.
and $500, is that correct?
112.5. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you paid that out of your business?
Yes, sir.
And what's your business name, sir?
100 Entertainment.
And you're the
Now, 100 Entertainment, if you guys don't know, is Wack100's business. That is a music label. It's a music label that employs and also signs Blueface, manages the game, and also releases independent releases for the game, and also has a joint distribution deal with Cash Money West that is co-owned by Wack100 and Birdman.
sole owner of that business, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that business is a business license to do business in the state of Nevada.
Yes, sir.
And how long have you had that business?
Roughly 8 years, maybe.
And again, you used the proceeds from that business and you provided us with the documents showing that those amounts were taken from your business account. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How do you know Mr. Davis, sir?
Now, again, remember, this is the prosecutor who, number one, yes, there is funds available to bail him out for $750K, but in the bail package that was approved, that the lawyer got approved by Keefe D, there's certain stipulations. The few stipulations is that Keefe D has to be bailed out by somebody who is not a business partner of him, someone who is not going to make revenue off of his either storytelling or involvement that would relate to the crime of Tupac Shakur dying. Okay? There was a couple other stipulations. It couldn't, certain people, like for example, not Suge Knight. I don't know if they named Sean Combs, but certain other people couldn't bail him out. There was stipulations. So that's why they're asking questions at this hearing to see if Wack100, even though he has the money and the bail bondsman will give the money, is it enough to grant this thing?
I know him through passing. I know his son. I know him. We sat down and talked a few times. In general, about personal things. He was having this bout with cancer, and
Mark your calendars this summer because
Oh my God. Okay, my bad, back.
This regular conversation. He's always been a monumental guy in our community. Conversation. So and I've helped several people in our community, whether it was funerals, whether it was for bail. In this situation, I know his cancer has been, I don't know if it's come out of remission, but within speaking with his son, I know he's having an issue in there, so I let the help in hand.
But when it came time for the state to question Jones on his motives for posting bail.
Okay, so it looked like that was Keefe D's attorney who was just basically, kind of setting it up. But then the state, which is this guy's, which is the prosecutor, he's going to ask questions that's going to kind of get Wack a bit jammed up. Because remember the stipulations, he can't get bailed out. Because here's the thing. In the era of movies and documentaries, biopics and such, now that we know that Keefe D is locked up for the murder of Tupac, it will be super relevant for him to do a docuseries, a biopic, any type of film really telling the story or telling maybe a story that's parallel to the Pac story. Because now, unfortunately, the arrest is even more credibility. And the judge knew that. The prosecutor brought this up when they were talking about bail. and the judge banned that. So that's why now the prosecutor is going to ask Wack, why do you really want to get this guy out of jail?
For the former gang member, prosecutors believe Jones to be a middleman, only agreeing to post the bail in exchange for a TV series about Davis's life.
All right, and so the other thing you say in the letter that Mr. Arnold provided to us is that the money is a gift and Mr. Davis is not obligated to repay. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Do you have any contract between you and Mr. Davis?
Not as of yet.
Okay. Do you have any financial agreement with Mr. Davis?
Not as of yet.
Do you have any financial agreement with his son?
No, I don't. I want for him to come work for me. That's what he want to do, to try to get him out the streets.
Now, so are there any...
Wack is smart as shit. Now, here's also the angle, chat, and this is why this is interesting. Wack100, who is a master spinner, like Wack has flamed and won every beef. Wack100 is one of the guys, the ultimates. Trust me, one of the greatest ever in working the media, working everything, even the court of law. What he knows not to do is to perjure himself. So when you see him take a second and when he answers the questions how he does, he can't lie. So he did swear in. Even if he's not in the court, he swore in, and it is in the record that he's testifying. So if he lies and they know, he will go to jail. That's how it works. So when they're asking him questions, that's why he's saying, he said, do you have any contracts with so-and-so? Not as yet. Who knows? That contract could be in the making. Maybe there's just not an executed contract, right? He's saying not as yet because who knows? Maybe a contract comes up later. You know what he's doing?
Act, after you get done with this, I want to ask you a question about this Wack shit.
Okay.
When you get done, how much you cook?
All right, bet. So what you realize Wack won't say is yeses and nos, because that will put him up for potential perjury, where they said, I thought you didn't have a contract with him. And even if the contract came after the bail, you said under the court of, you said under oath, you didn't have a contract, right? So anyway, just listen to Wack. He's being very shrewd.
Stipulations that you have with Mr. Davis in order to put up this money for him?
Well, my stipulation with the bail bond, I definitely wanted him to be on house arrest to protect myself.
Now, have you ever said you were thinking about getting Mr. Davis out with the stipulation that you do a series with him?
We've had talks and conversations just about what would be a series.
Now, I'm very sorry I keep pausing it, but I got to give you all some context. So the prosecutor did his homework. This is the prosecutor here. Wack went on Vlad TV and literally said he would possibly get out Keefe D if they could do a series. That's what the prosecutor's talking about. Wack knows this. This is chess right here, even though it's in real time. Wack knows this. He's not going to say, I never said that. He's going to just try to make it sound some other way. Do you get what I'm saying? Keep watching.
The VMF series and just in question, in general conversation, talking about his life story, but I'm not in TV land, I'm in music. I don't do TV.
Okay.
I've never done a television show or any of that. I do music.
Now, what you're going to realize about this too, and this is how prosecutors, they prepare for this a lot. The prosecutors are going to, eventually Wack is going to tell them, right now he says, I'm in music. Later in his testimony, he's going to say, I'm moving away from music. Watch.
Streaming, diapers, stuff like that.
Okay, so I just want to be very clear about this. Have you ever stated that you planned on getting Mr. Davis out as long as he did a stipulation with you to do a television series with you?
Oh, I have said this story would be a very interesting story. As if Orlando Anderson's story would be a very interesting story, as if the BMS story, as if my story. We talk about it, everybody talks about it, but again, that's not my lane. If that's what he chooses to do, then that's what he chooses to do. That's not what I do.
If someone were to say that the money provided here to bail Mr. Davis out is not from you, would that be the truth or a lie?
Be a lie.
Okay. If someone
Now, see, this is like really interesting and shrewd, right? So the prosecutor wants to believe that there's a TV company that wants to get a series about Pac's death with Keefe D basically given not only his likeness and whatever, but also kind of either narrating or also adding some details. Maybe that even was in his book. They're saying, well, we need Keefe D for it. If Keefe D goes to jail, it's going to fuck it up. How much is his bail? Oh, we need to put up $112,000. Well, they're thinking they're going to make millions. Okay, we'll give the $112,000. Wack, you got to get this guy to go do the series. That's the theory of the prosecutor. Now, here's the thing. I think the prosecutor is also smart enough to know Wack is not a broke nigga. So Wack got $112,000 already. So I'm pretty sure Wack isn't stupid enough to be like, oh, you just gave me $112,000 here. I'm going to take that from the same account and go there. So he's telling them, and he's not lying, no, nobody paid me to pay him. I just paid it myself.
I didn't send the money, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Saying I'm not the one providing the funds?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be a lie.
If someone said you are being used as a front, would that be the truth or a lie?
That would be a lie.
If someone says you are a middleman in this transaction, would that be a truth or a lie?
That would be a lie.
If somebody said that there's a movie company putting up the money for you, would that be a truth or a lie?
What company?
A movie company.
No, that would be a lie.
Okay.
Is the debate on? The debate ain't on yet.
You're
The man accused of participating in the murder of a hip-hop legend fights to be...
No, I have no contracts with any movie company. I've never had a contract with a movie company. I've never done television. It's not
Harbor Freight. We can't save you from getting tagged in a wipeout video, but we can save you big.
Entertainment into the diaper business. I have a company called the President Diapers. I have contracts in Congo, Nigeria, Amazon, Walmart, and Pueblo. So I'm really moving away from entertainment. These are things I can provide documents, MOUs, contracts for.
No, and I appreciate that, Mr. Jones.
His lawyer did an interview recently and said Keefe D is a liar. He made up all this stuff.
They played Vlad TV's clip in court. Yo, we're going to get back to this chat. Yo, YouTube, I love y'all so much. We've been rocking with 15,000 people this whole time. Yo, I cannot play this on YouTube. Like they've explicitly said if we play this on YouTube, they're going to ban me. They've literally told me if I play this debate, I want to play this debate because this is getting ready. Yo, this is what we're going to do. I need everybody.